Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet. Why do I always do this whenever I'm about to drink my coffee? Welcome back to Flying in Space with Planethead. Uh, Day close to 90 of my 100-day trip as an alpha. I got about 10 more days. I stopped counting exactly about day 60 or whatever because it got ridiculous. I think I remember starting this on Christmas Day. So if you guys want to figure out that day, feel free. If you want to go back and look at the videos, I do have at the end of the video a link to the playlist. I learned how to do that. Um, yeah, I suck. But if you want to watch from day one through and be really bored, um, feel free. I'm last couple videos I kind of talked about my next steps and what I want to do, and it's kind of coming to fruition. And it really kind of goes by what I want to do as a player, but also having so much fun making these videos. And uh, two things that I think I'm going to start focusing on, and I need a third. Maybe I just thought of the third because I always like to do things in three, the triumvirate. I learned that word watching Robotech back in the day when I was a kid. Um, uh, Long story short, whenever I train in my job or I'm coaching my trainers, I tell them never focus on more than three things that you want to work on because if you're training somebody, they start to get muddled. If you get started muddled, but I always try to do three things at once that I'm working on. Boy, I'm going down a rabbit hole here. So, after my 100 days, I think I'll be in Texas at that time because I am going on a trip. Um, um, I'm thinking, number one, I want to keep doing what I'm doing. So that's not really one of the three. I've had a lot of fun with this. I'm gonna go Omega with the character. I said in the last video, I'm hoping they do it. Um, about every 3 months, CCP will um, they will do a special where you can get, if you buy 3 months worth of Plex or 3 months character subscription, you can use your second character for training for the same price. So it's like a 50% deal, which is pretty freaking awesome. Um, Number two, this has been getting me back into the game, but I truly believe in. I know anybody out there can Plex their account. I personally, it's like I almost said it, I'm mining, and I'm about to complain about mining. Um, let's get this stopped. Uh, Long story short, I I know people do this. I don't Plex to play. I Plex to gauge my involvement in the game, but I in the past I have done games, and you're spending so much time trying to accumulate in-game currency to continue to play, where you can spend literally um, $14 to play for a month or less on something. And if it's a game that isn't focused on stealing your money from you with microtransactions, why not do that? Because you're also helping the people who are creating the game for you. And in my mind, uh, put it this way, and I said this about something completely separate to a friend of mine. Um, why would I go and mine ore for 40 hours in a month and sell it, or do exploration for 40 hours in a month and sell it to make just enough money to get the Plex, where I can go into work and work 1 hour and make enough money to not only pay for my month, um, and do whatever the heck I want to do, but also put food on the table for that programmer that's over at CCP. Now, you will probably see I'm thinking down the road I will Plex a second account, maybe, um, but I'm not going to do it with this one once I go. I want to get set up there, but I will take any bonus they'll give me, like free, because free side skilling. But that off the subject. Three things. Okay, I'm about to do what a video I was just doing. I'm doing it right now. Let me see if I got it here. There we go. Uh, if you, this is so funny. If you go to YouTube, if you guys have not seen this, I'm just throwing this out there. Um, I will. There we go. You'll see stuff that I love search histories. You can see what people watch, and then you go over here and you type in Randy Feltface. This is so hysterical. I was just watching it the other day. Here we go. This is the one you want to look up. Randy writes a novel. He's. I just watched this. Maybe I'm doing this vicariously through him if I'm using the word vicariously correctly. Watch this video. Randy writes a novel. It's an hour and 11 minutes long. It's. I think it's a show that this character has done. It's hysterical. He keeps trying to get back on track. He's supposed to read his novel in front of a group, and he keeps switching off. And I'm doing that to you right now. So if you want to have some fun, watch that. That said, okay, so the three things that I'm thinking about doing. Number one, keep playing the way I'm wanting to do, but that's not number one because I'm going to do that. I'm having fun doing stuff. So, number one, I've been watching uh, how when I'm able to make good videos, I think, or at least more content videos rather than just throwing up a video up there like today. um, and I want to get a little bit into a little bit of video production for myself. I want to be very clear about that. It's something that I've always been interested in. I am fascinated with watching YouTube videos where people have taken music and a TV show that they really like. Like I was massively into Arcane when it came out on Netflix. I still watch videos that people have made up where they've taken pop music and put the or music from the movie or the show and do clips like their own montages. I've always loved that. Um, I don't want to do that. Well, maybe I might want to do some of that. What I'm thinking is um, to start working on video production for gameplay in Eve. From the smallest level, I know nothing about it other than what I'm doing right now using a $20 headset with a year and a half old laptop in the middle of my living room. um, I want to get better at that for myself. You will never hear me say like or subscribe. I just said it. Don't do that because I'm not doing this for money. I have so that I want to do it because it's something that I think is enjoyable to me. It's maybe I'm not an artistic person, but maybe I can have an artistic expression with that. So that's my number one. And how am I going to do that? Well, very small increments, very similar to the way that I'm doing Eve over the last 100 days. Maybe I'll set a date, like 100 days of video production, where each day I try something new out in Eve and try to make a video on it. Not each day, but over the course of the week. And I'm thinking, and this is my initial plan, but it might change over the next 2 weeks while I'm working it out, of like every Friday doing a produced video where maybe I've made up a new title screen or maybe I've tried new sound settings and explain that in the video as well as what I'm doing with Eve. So how would I do that with Eve? Well, you can't do that so much while you're flying around like I'm doing right now, even though I'm not flying around. But what I can do is pick something that I want to focus on for that week or that 2 weeks and then produce it. And then talk about in my video how I made the production of it, but also um, uh, about the item. So I could do the first part of the video about the item in Eve that's interesting to me, and I'll talk about that here in a second. Then the second part of it, what I learned from making the video. So I might try out some stuff that works or doesn't, but I think that would be interesting. Um, and uh, the stop. Hold on. What made this epiphany? Well, I've been thinking about this for a little while. I was just watching a video by Ashtarothi. I think I brought him up the other day. He did some great video, great content. If you haven't watched him, um, and he brought up the fact of the new player experience not showing people how to fit ships. I'm not going to try to do that. No, I'm not going to try that. But he started naming off some things that should be basic things that players should know, but they don't. And the one that caught me, and then he named off some other things, and I knew about half of them because I play. But he named off something else, and I'm not going to bring it up here. I want to my first video might be about this. Um, he brought up the fact that a lot of people don't know, and I haven't. He said it. I haven't looked it up yet. Um, that with micro warp drives use more capacitor, but they also take away the amount of capacitor that you have. Now, I knew that it used more capacitor, obviously, but I didn't know that, okay, so it's using more capacitor, so you're running out faster, but it also cuts down on the total amount of capacitor that you have on your ship. I had no idea about that. Now, I haven't researched it. Now that's given me an interest. I could do a deep dive on that, or a basic deep dive on that for um, a week, and make a video doing that, and play around with the video side of it, and then so maybe publish that on a specific day every week, and then the rest of the week just be gameplay and having fun and me talking like this. So I'm thinking about doing that. I've still got about 2 weeks till I come up with that. I'm gonna wait. I'm working this week, and then next Monday I fly to Texas to visit some family and close friends. I'm going to be there for about a week, and I'm going to be still doing videos from hotel rooms. Looking forward to that. I did that a long time ago. I'm happy for that. But that's my first thought. Um, and then the second one will be the whole living in wormhole space. So point one is making new videos and structuring it. The second one will be living in wormhole space. I want to try it out. I don't know how long I want to do it for. It may be my new thing, but I've really had a lot of fun with it. Um, so that's going to be the second thing. I'm looking for a third to focus on. And I'm a big fan of setting goals, like I did with this whole 100-day run of an alpha character and learning. I've learned so much. I'm going to be honest, around day 55, 60. Well, I think my first one was around day 30, and then around day 65 ish. I was like, man, this is starting to drag just a little bit. I run out of a few ideas, um, and I know what the 65 was. Good friend of mine had passed away, and outside life got into my video game playing. So you have to watch out for that. So, but I forced myself to not make videos, but stay positive about that. So, wow, this is a rabbit hole. Maybe I should just change going down a rabbit hole with Planet. That's the new. I gotta write it. I don't have a pen. Going down a rabbit hole with Planethead. How do you get a planet down a rabbit hole? Hold on. Let's go ahead and start this conversation. I don't want to lose out my bonus money. Complete that mission. Oh, I could. I had 5 hours. I got 5 hours. I can do that. So what am I doing right now? Right now, I'm working on my stand. So that's what I want to do in the future. So this video, just a little bit. I didn't have a whole lot to put in here as far as gameplay. What am I doing is I'm working on two things. My standings with each one of the major factions. This is my side character. This is BJ, my transportation character, BJ and the Bear. Um, so I'm working on my standings, doing the career missions while I'm watching some TV. And then the second part being that I'm also uh, working on getting more transportation ships or transport ships, and just checking out the areas that are around. And last but not least, I'm getting this was a big you get that daily bonus. This guy does not skill up. He only skills up with the bonus skill points that you get. Today was a big one. It's a 5 NPC kill day for 10,000 points. So I'm probably going to use this character for when I do those specific videos about certain things because he has no skills other transportation stuff. So I may use this character for that. So just to give you a heads up where he's at, Mr. BJ and the bear. So I can't believe somebody else had that name before I did it, so I had to go and the with a no space in there. Um, but the big thing here is just recently I got all of my 4 major factions doing the career missions up over a 1 in faction rating. If you notice, my Galente, my Minmatar, my Kaldari there, and my Amar standings are all over 1, which allows me to do level 2 distribution missions with all of those characters. So now I can basically pull up, I'll show you, and it's just level 2. It is absolutely nothing, but it gives me something to do while I want to watch some TV. Um, and it's instantaneous money, and but it allows me to be active if my wormhole area is not going. So, so that's the last part here. Is I'm just going to continue doing that, just to show you. So when you get to level 2, I can come in here and agent missions, and we're going to go to mission agents, distribution, any level. Well, if I want to go to level 2 now, and then any distance away, doesn't really matter. Security status, I want to stay in high sec, and we want to change our faction rating to any faction. So this will pull me up all my distribution agents that are available to me, that I can fly around and just click, 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 and keep raising my stats. And that does multiple things. It raises my standings with each one of the corporations, which helps my broker fees. It raises my standings with the major groups, so that if I get to level 3, I can do level 3 distribution missions. It cuts down on my travel time going from one place to another. So let's say I find a station that gives me 2 distribution missions. So I pick them both up. One of them sends me 2 spots away. I drop off the stuff there, but lo and behold, when I land at that station, there's another distribution agent. Even if it's I started on a Mars station and landed on a Minmatar station, I still have the opportunity to pick up more things. So it could just be this chain reaction going from one thing to another. And it allows me to fly around areas maybe I have never been to before. So that's what I'm doing today. Pretty boring stuff, but fact-finding stuff. So that, and then I'm going to go back in the wormhole later on today after I get some work done outside. So, but other than that, not a whole lot. Just wanted to kind of make a video today and say what's up. Let's see here. Oh, it's only 18 minutes. So the last thing I wanted to bring up was, and it kind of goes back to the beginning. I don't know if anybody, and this was something that I'll focus on. This is the second part of the video. What I wanted to focus on with the making videos. I don't care. I care that people might subscribe or watch the videos. I'm not making any money, nor do I plan on making any money, and there's a reason for that. Um, uh, what it shows me is maybe I'm doing something a little bit better, and I couldn't believe I literally just I caught my eye. I got 3 subscriptions yesterday. I have a whole 86 subscribers. But for the first time ever, I literally in one day had 3 people subscribe. So number one, I want to thank those guys for doing that, because it isn't about money for me. It's about, hey, maybe somebody liked this enough to actually click that button. So, and I'm being 100% honest here. Um, and I use that to judge if I'm doing things correctly. And I know this is not professional and stuff like that. Like I said, I will never say, um, uh, like and subscribe. I will. It's similar to whenever I'm training new hires at my job. I say my job is not to make you work fast. My job is over the next couple of days during training to show you how to be successful, to do things the right way, but most importantly, since this is a entry level position, um, to enter the job and be here for the 10 hours we're here for the day to work and then leave and not talk about this place. Okay? Because it's a job. I don't care if you go home and say, this is the greatest place ever. Because it's going to be a job. And if you didn't have to be here, you wouldn't be here. What I say to them is if you're going home every day and complaining about your job, maybe the job isn't the right one for you. And for me, with making these YouTube videos, it's the same thing. If people are actually watching them, and if I have 3 people who I get to know because of this, or a billion people that get to know, that's all that really matters to me. I'm doing this on my time. If it turns out that um, I have other things in my life that pop in that don't allow me to do this as often, that's cool. But right now, I'm just having so much fun doing it. Um, I look at it also like um, I know that everything has its waves of things that happen. And so this is my thing that I'm having fun with. And yeah, I could keep doing this for, I collected comic books for 10 years. And then one day I went, why am I collecting? I'm just doing this to do it. And I stopped. Um, Other things I've done that for long periods of time and had fun. And then at one point I'm like, meh. So I really see me doing this for quite a while, but you never know. So I just want to thank everybody. If you want to contact me, feel free to. I had a great guy commented the other day about how I was scanning and how I was missing a few things, and um, uh, I told him you know what, you're 100% right. If you want to check out the comments section, you're 100% right. I know how to do what he said, but I start making these videos and they I what we call it? I lose my brain just like I just did. So okay, this is just me talking now. I'm not giving you any good information, so that I feel like I'm preening now. So hey, I always want to thank everybody for flying in, flying with me. Um, Next week, over the next week, I'm going to be making some shorter videos, and then come Monday, I fly out to Austin, and I'm going to be visiting some friends in very good friend of mine in San Antonio. My brother lives up near Dallas, and then I'm going to drive up to visit my niece, who I've never met, in my old hometown of Oklahoma, or old hometown in Oklahoma. I'll give you guys some updates on that. So you'll be a little, but I'll be in my hotel rooms. I don't know what my connections will be like. So I'm really looking forward to that. Been quite a while since I've done a trip like this. So I'm going to have a lot of fun. Alrighty. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however the heck you want. I've rattled on enough. And you guys have a great week. Alrighty. Bye bye.